All right. In this video, I want to talk about something that a lot of people don't seem to understand. Like they're not able to grasp it. Where they're like, whose side you on? And they just don't get my point of view, where I am both for everyone and against everyone. And they really just don't get it. For example, when it comes to something like politics, I am for the left and the right, and I'm against both of them, right? And they just like, huh? I was like, yeah, because there's things on the left that I agree with, right? Like helping out the poor and the needy, and that the nation and its wealth belongs to everyone, so everyone should be taken care of by this super wealthy nation, and we shouldn't have really trillionaires and billionaires. If we didn't have that, we would have a country that was way better off, and even a world that was way better off, right? But at the same time, I'm against the left with a lot of their anti-God, anti-Christian sentiments, and a lot of their weird hypocrisy when it comes to bashing Christianity but supporting Islam, right? I mean, a lot of the stuff over there doesn't make sense. But I agree with freedom and loving people and allowing them to be able to express themselves and be themselves as long as they don't harm anybody, right? And yeah. And on the right, I agree with how they're more supportive of Christianity. I believe it's mostly a false version of Christianity, but they're more tolerant of me than the left is. But I'm not for the hardcore capitalist pull yourself up by the bootstraps. It's very like heartless and anti-Jesus. That's not the way Jesus lived and not what he taught. He freely fed people. Didn't say, hey, go get a job, you bums. Right? He freely just fed them and healed people. Didn't ask for their insurance. Right? Yeah, the early church, they all sold what they have and shared their wealth among each other to help each other out, right? There's a lot of stuff on the right they claim to be Christian, but it's very anti-Christian. But I do believe in personal property, right? And freedom in that sense, where, you work for something, you can keep it, you can be selfish if you want, which gives you the opportunity to become something like a billionaire or a trillionaire. Though I think that's very selfish and very anti-Christian to have that as your life goal, and to even achieve that and call yourself Christian you're either delusional or you're lying to everybody else and deluding them. But so in this sense, I'm for both. Like, how come we can't take the good things from both sides and bring them together and toss out the bad things? Right? Why can't we do that? So you see how I'm for both sides, right? But I'm also against both sides. Like, people are like, oh, you got to choose the lesser of two evils. No, this person is supposed to be someone who represents you. Neither group represents me, right? The only one that I would put as a representative of me is Jesus Christ himself. And not a false Jesus, all right? Like, there's going to be one that's coming up where a guy is going to be acting like he's Jesus, but he's not, right? So, yeah, that's a no-go, right? The same thing when it comes to something like religion, right? Where you have like Catholics and Protestants, where I'm for and against both, right? So when it comes to government, when it comes to religion, people are like, huh? How are you for and against both? Well, I'm for both of them getting the gospel and getting saved, right? And I'm against both of them setting up their own authority as if they are the mediator between you and God, right? And the same thing happens when you come to something like family and friends. There'll be a dispute. And what I notice a lot of times, when you side with somebody because somebody wronged the other person. So you're like, hey, that's not right. The person who was wronged then takes that as a license to be a complete belligerent prick and go do something just awful in retaliation. And then you're like, well, you're just as bad. Now I can't side with either one of you because you guys are just tearing at each other. You guys are just going to have to tear each other down because you're both pricks, right? It's not as if one of you was being right and doing the right thing and the other one just came about and mauled you for no reason. Because then it's like, yeah, I'll stand up for you because you were doing the right thing and there was no reason for you to get mauled, whether with words or physically, right? But then when you act in the same way or you provoked someone to respond that way to you, well, I'm not on your side. But I'm not also on the side of, reacting that way. So it's like, I'm for both of you because I care about both of you, but I'm not for your behaviors. So I'm against both of you on this, right? And I'm for both of you correcting your behaviors and, looking in the mirror, being better than you were yesterday kind of thing, right? And people just don't understand that. It's like everything is, well, if you're on my side, I can get away with whatever I want and you're not going to call me out. And it's like, no, that's not how it works. If I'm on your side, it's because you're standing on the truth. You're standing on what's morally right. And that's why I'm siding with you. Not because of you, but because of the truth, because of what is right. And as long as you stick to that, we're on the same side. But if you want to defer from that, I'm going to correct you to get you back in line with what is true and what is right. And if, that confuses you or that bothers you, that's your problem. That's your issue that you got to work out. I'm not being inconsistent. I'm not being manipulative. I'm not lying. Right? And that's what it ultimately comes down to. I side with God, who is the truth, who is the light, who is the life. Right? The righteous one, the pure and innocent one. I stand with righteousness, what is right. And if you side with that, even on something simple, like you're saying 2 + 2 is 4, you're sticking up for the truth. And if somebody's saying it's something other than 4, well, I'm going to be against them because you are supporting the truth. But that doesn't mean I'm going to support you when you go punch them in the face for disagreeing with you. Right? You understand? Because I'm not for that. Just because someone disagrees with you does not mean you turn it into violence. Right? But at the same time, if you're provoking someone to violence, I'm not going to side with you if somebody does do something violent to you if you provoked it. Not that it's okay for them to do it just because you provoked it, but I'm not going to feel bad for you if you keep poking a lion and then the lion bites your head off. Be like, well, he was an idiot. I mean, I don't know what the hell he was thinking. He was poking that lion, and eventually that lion got a hold of him, and he got what he was coming to him, right? I mean, I would rather not have his head bit off, but, I mean, that's what's going to happen, right? I mean, I learned that as a kid, messing with people bigger than me. And then they bop me on the head and be like, yeah. At first they're like, I don't want to hurt you. You're small. Leave me alone. I'd be like, no. And then bop. Okay, I guess I'll leave you be, right? But a lot of people didn't learn that when they were younger, right? And they think if they antagonize someone and the person reacts to them, whether yelling at them or cussing them out or smacking them, hitting them or something, they think that they should have a pity party. And it's like, no, the person shouldn't have done that, but you brought it on yourself. You're both pricks. You're a prick for antagonizing them, and you're a prick for lashing out on them instead of just walking away, right? And I've been on both sides. I've been the prick to antagonize, and I've been the prick given into antagonization. Right? So I'm speaking from experience. Like, it takes one to know one, right? You can point the finger at me, and you'd be justified in doing so, right? But you see, I'm doing my best to look in the mirror and learn from that, and to teach you so that hopefully you learn from it as well. Especially if any of you are younger, you can learn it faster than I did. It'll save you a lot of trouble. But yeah, this is just about like whose side you on. And it's just weird how people they don't see it as a side between God, who is the truth and the light and life and what is right, versus everything else. They see it as everything's just a mixture of good and bad, good and evil. And you just pick a side, you pick a team, and you defend it tooth and nail, no matter what, even if it's wrong in one spot, it doesn't matter. You ignore it, dismiss it, cover it up, and you defend it anyway, because you stick to your ground, you stand your ground, and you don't give in once you choose your side. And it's like, well, that's just stupid. Why are you doing that? Why? That makes no sense. It makes no sense at all. But it seems to be the mentality of some people, right? Like, born a Catholic, die... No. If you're born a Catholic, die a Catholic. No. Born a Catholic, well, then you must be born again, right? You know, be a born-again Christian, right? You don't go to heaven for being a Catholic, right? You go to heaven being born again. You don't go to heaven because you earned it. You go to heaven because you're forgiven, right? But, yeah. I just want to make this quick video talking about that. Just a little bit of a rant. So I'm not going to do my normal spiel that I do at the end. Just thank you for your time and attention. And, yeah, think about these things. Because I just think it's weird how that's how people are. They're like, this is my side, and I'm going to defend it no matter what. Even when it messes up and it does things wrong, I'm going to sit and justify it. Right? People do this when it comes to, their parents, to their siblings, to their best friends, to their spouses, for their children, for their favorite sports team, for their church, for their government. They're like, well, this is where I am. This is where I'm planted. I'm not going anywhere. And nobody's perfect. So this is where I want to be. And I'm going to overlook all the mess and the errors and the lies and the deception and the straight up evil. I'm just going to ignore it, dismiss it, cover it up, and fight for it anyway. And just focus on the good. And it's basically you're just sticking your head in the sand and being a stubborn fool. And there's no reason for you to be doing that. Like, why do you have that mentality? It makes no sense. You have, no flexibility. You have no humility. You have no desire for God, the truth, for what is right. You just, whatever benefits you and makes you feel comfortable. It's just very selfish, self-absorbed way of going about things that is very unfulfilling. And in the end, you're going to regret it. But anyway, thanks again for watching. Take care. I'll see you in the next one, and may God bless you and yours.